Let's look at the grammar presentation, which is on pages 360 and 361. And here is an overview of the three kinds of connectors. These are the same three kinds of connectors that are on your connectors handout that we got in class. And if you go to this quick grammar review topics, it will take you to this other website, Advanced Grammar Laney, and it is number 4 that we're talking about, the summary of connecting words. And here they are: conjunctions, subordinators, logical connectors. So this is the same thing that we're talking about right now. There are the three kinds: the coordinating conjunctions, or fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And here, these are used to put together two complete sentences in a compound sentence with this as the conjunction. You have a comma here. Then the second kind we have is subordinating conjunctions, or I usually call them subordinators. Some people call them adverbial expressions. And this is what you use to begin an adverb clause. Here's the subordinator: because I was worried, comma, and there's the main clause, I did some research. And remember, you can always turn this around and say, I did some research because I was worried. The third kind we have is the logical connector. That's the name I like, or transition, or a sentence adverb. And that's what these look like. I was worried, therefore, comma, I did some research. Here's a new sentence, period. You can also use a semicolon here. In that case, there's no capital. You can also usually put these at the end of a sentence. I was worried, I did some research, comma, therefore. Or you can put it all together in one sentence with and you can put the connector before the verb. I was worried, comma, and I therefore did some research. These are different functions of connectors. Okay, for addition, you can use and, nor, or. And logical connectors for addition are besides, furthermore, indeed, in addition, moreover. For condition, the coordinating conjunction is or. The subordinators are if, even if, only if, unless. The logical connector is otherwise. For contrast, the coordinating conjunctions are but, or yet. The subordinators are although, though, even though, whereas, while. The logical connectors, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, on the contrary, on the other hand. For cause or reason, the coordinating conjunction is for. The subordinators are as, because, or since. Since can mean because. For effect or result, the coordinating conjunction is so. The logical connectors are consequently, otherwise, therefore, or thus. For time, you have subordinators after, before, when, or while. You have logical connectors afterwards, meanwhile, or next. And this is what it looks when you use. This is what it looks like when you use connecting sentences with logical connectors. Okay, she couldn't remember names. New sentence, furthermore, and comma. She forgot addresses. Human brains lose mass. It means they lose the amount. Indeed, comma, they may lose 10% a year. So here I'm adding something new to the sentence I said before. Condition: older people should eat several small meals a day. Otherwise, comma, their memory might deteriorate. Deteriorate means get lower, get less. And there's your comma. For contrast, I often have trouble with names. However, comma, I always remember faces. We all forget things. Nevertheless, comma, we shouldn't worry. For effect or result, I wasn't concentrating when we met. Consequently, this means as a result, I couldn't recall her name. He wanted to improve his memory, therefore he took a memory course. He studied for his course. Meanwhile means at the same time, his wife read a book. She completed the book. Next, she bought a memory video. All those sentences can be said in different ways using different kinds of connectors. Okay, I could say she couldn't remember names and she also forgot addresses. Human brains lose mass and they may lose 10% a year. Okay, if older people don't eat several small meals a day, their memory might deteriorate. I often have trouble with names, but I always remember faces. Even though we all forget things, we shouldn't worry. I couldn't recall her name because I wasn't concentrating when we met. He wanted to improve his memory, so he took a memory course. He studied for his course while his wife read a book. After she completed the book, she bought a memory video. So there are different ways to express the same idea using different connecting words. These are connectors that we use to complete blocks of text, to introduce paragraphs when you're writing an essay. First of all, this is when I'm beginning to list things and I have the first one in the list. For example, for giving examples. To summarize, see, at the end when I'm summarizing, I use that. Your book has a colon here, dot, dot, and that is incorrect. I corrected it here. You can use the semicolon with the dot and the comma and no capital. Or if I begin the sentence with the logical connector, I use a capital. And here's another thing I can use for the final paragraph in an essay. In conclusion, and then continue.